And the nightmare of the 8th inning will not end. And the Orioles take game 1. The Orioles stun the Tigers with a late comeback.
Just like yesterday. I mean, this will drive you crazy.
Nelson Cruz has done it again.
And the Baltimore Orioles sweep the Tigers.
I'm like most of the fans. I'm stunned.
So the Tigers did not reach the World Series. So many baseball experts thought they would. Take a look at the additions and the subtractions. At the moment, Max Scherzer is a subtraction, but anything could happen. Dave Dombrowski did not close the door to that idea when we asked him, what about their skipper, Brad Ausmus, who joins us now here in San Diego. Brad, nice to talk to you. You'd like to see Max Scherzer back in your rotation, right?
I'd love to see Max Scherzer. I'd like to have Shields as well if we can get him.
Oh, wow. Breaking news. Ken Rosenthal just sprint to his phone. Year 1 as a manager in the books. Was this a no-win situation for you? Because if you lead the Tigers to the World Series, everyone's going to go, yeah, of course. That team's loaded. Well, that was a tough situation for you, right?
I don't want to say it's a no-win situation. I don't think there's a guy in baseball who would rather take over a team that's expected to lose. So I'd much rather go in a situation, there may be a little bit of added pressure, but I'd much rather go in a situation where, hey, you got a pretty good ball club than go into a situation where we're rebuilding, maybe we'll win 3 or 4 years from now. I'd like to win today.
And that first year, what was the biggest surprise to you in the adjustment going from what you previously did to jumping in this role? Because that's a pretty big jump.
It is a jump, but I've said this many times. Nothing bowled me over, nothing shocked me. I knew kind of going in, the biggest time consumption other than the games, the baseball stuff, is the media, which you talk to the media twice a day before and after the games. But I knew that going in. As a player, you see that. You see the guys going in and out of the manager's office. So nothing really bowled me over.
When you have Miguel Cabrera, obviously that's a luxury. I mean, thank God I don't have to pitch against him anymore. But the fact that you were able to have this guy play and know the pain that he was in, to describe, I mean, obviously he's getting it taken care of, but was that the biggest challenge of knowing day to day? How do I gotta ask him, but how do I get him through the season?
Well, and it was something that it was important to me, and it was important to me that I communicate with Miggy on it. And he was very honest with me. There was a number of times where I would talk to him after a game, or he'd come into my office. But the one thing about Miggy, he wants to play every day. So when he tells me he's fine, I got to kind of watch his gait more than what is coming out of his mouth. But how remarkable is a guy, Miggy? We thought he had a couple bone chips in his ankle. He gets the surgery. He's got a broken foot. Crazy. This guy was a player of the month in September with a broken foot.
Crazy. And it just talks about the leadership of a guy like Miguel Cabrera, who, Brad, I put him in the heart of your order. I'm just letting you know, I love playing this game, lineup game. So you tell me how I did. Take a look at the projected lineup for the Detroit Tigers. You do not have Torrey Hunter anymore.
That's right.
Which I think is an overlooked loss. What do you think of the lineup I penciled in here?
Well, I think you're right. I mean, Torrey drove in over 80 runs, so we got to fill that void a little bit.
Change anything you want.
No, it's not. It's certainly a possibility. It wouldn't shock me if that lineup was thrown up there.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Anthony Ghost. Why? Anthony Ghost is a sleeper move as well. This is a kid with a lot of range and speed.
Very athletic, very toolsy. But the one thing you have to have in Comerica Park, especially when you have a good starting pitching staff the way you have, we need somebody to go get the ball in the gaps. We need someone to run those down.
I have to bring up some breaking news just for our viewers, and we'll get right back to talking Tigers. There's a trade. D. Gordon traded from the Dodgers to the Miami Marlins. You see the tweet on your screen right now. Andrew Heaney is what is coming back. Andrew Heaney's a former first-round pick out of Oklahoma State.
Good-looking kid.
Yeah, they broke into the big leagues. Wow. What do you think of this?
Well, again, a good deal for both clubs. Marlins have a lot of depth in their pitching. They've worked hard to do that. And D. Gordon's an exciting player. Adds a whole nother dimension of speed for that lineup, too. This is an interesting trade.
Wow. Okay, we'll get back to that in a little later, but I want to talk about your shortstop that you're getting back, Jose Iglesias. That was a loss to not have him in your lineup, one of the best defenders at that position in the game.
Well, absolutely. And we in spring training, when we found out we lost him for what we thought could be the season, we kind of scrambled. How are we going to fill this void? And we ended up making the trade for Gonzalez in Baltimore, and then although I got to give Gonzo some credit, he ended up hitting a walk. He had a walk-off hit in the first. It was in the first few games of the season, and we won the division by by one game, so without Gonzo, we wouldn't have won it. But he was there, and then we ended up bringing Suarez up, and we had Andrew Romine playing there. So it was a little bit of a musical chairs. I mean, in the end, it was Suarez and Romine kind of split in time. So yeah, losing Iglesias that stung a little bit.
I have had with every other major league player at some point play manager, right? If you're going to be a manager, this is what I'm going to do, knowing full well probably never going to get that chance. You get the chance with the new age managers that have come and played the game and gone right to the manager. Did you ever do that when you were younger? Did you ever say, if I become a manager, this is what I'm going to do, here's my imprint, not to mention you're taking over a team that Jim Leland just had?
Well, I didn't imagine taking over a team from Jim Leland.
Right.
But I certainly had run scenarios through my head. I mean, even after games, I would sit in front of my locker for an hour after a game and watch whatever game was on the West Coast and play along even in that scenario from a strategic standpoint. So, yeah, I would say I did that.
That's great. Your catching situation, how concerned are you about the concussions of your catcher, and where is his health status at? And being a former catcher, I know that you know how crucial that position is to your pitching staff and the whole rhythm of the game.
It is, and Alex got dung up a couple times.
Right.
But he's been cleared. He's had to go through a couple battery of tests when the season ended, and all systems are go. So we're expecting him to be able to catch a spring training.
Great.
What do you know about D. Gordon?
I know he's fast. We played against the Dodgers this year.
Yeah.
I played with his dad.
Oh yeah, Tom Gordon. Yeah, you know him well. D. Gordon's second baseman now for the Marlins. It's a big trade. We're gonna sink our teeth into that. But Brad, thank you so much for stopping by.
All right, guys, my pleasure. Well, let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
Looking at these balls, I had all the Tigers people in my house. I live in San Diego the other day.
Oh yeah.
I have a John Smoltz ball in my little man cave there.
Wow.
When I was a young player, I
said, you got a man crush on this guy.
We faced each other a bunch.
I'm hoping the value goes up here in the next.
Oh, I know.
I have a feeling it will.
Yeah, I have a trying to get him to sign this before we get off the set.
Brad, thank you very much. Good luck in 2015.
Great.